The FDA is expected to give its first opinions on Moderna's booster shots for COVID-19. That'll happen, I guess, this morning, Meg Terrell.
That's right, David. We are waiting for the FDA to post its opinion and its analysis of the Moderna booster application sometime this morning ahead of an advisory committee meeting set for Thursday this week. They also have one set for Friday to discuss the J&J booster application, along with NIH data on what happens when you mix brands for the booster. So this morning, what we've seen so far are the company documents from Moderna and Johnson & Johnson supporting their applications for boosters. Let's go through what Moderna has presented first. They are applying for a half-dose booster given at least 6 months out. And they say that with the half dose, 50 micrograms compared with the 100 micrograms you get for the first 2 shots, that boosts antibodies by 15-fold compared with pre-boost levels. They also say you get slightly lower reactogenicity, or the sort of side effects that come along with the shot if you give a half dose. And giving a half dose, they say, would increase worldwide supply of the vaccines. And so what they're asking for essentially is for the FDA to consider giving that booster at the half dose for the same population for whom the Pfizer-BioNTech booster is cleared. So we will see how the FDA is looking at that later this morning, most likely. Now, Johnson & Johnson also submitting its documents ahead of its Friday advisory committee meeting. Essentially, what they showed is that 2 months out, which we saw from clinical trial data a couple weeks ago, you increase the efficacy of that shot to 94% compared with in the 70s for giving just 1 dose of the J&J vaccine. But they say if you give that further out at 6 months, you get a bigger increase in antibodies. They also said with the booster, you see no new safety signals. And so J&J here really trying to paint a picture of let's decide when to give a booster dose based on the risk to the person or what's going on in that setting. So they say to high-risk people, maybe you want to give the booster at 2 months to increase that protection early. But for other folks, 6 months could give you longer-lasting, higher protection. So we'll see again what the FDA is looking at for them potentially later today or tomorrow, along with the mix and match data from NIH, which I'm very excited to see. Finally, guys, just pivoting over to CureVac, a little more news in the mRNA COVID vaccine space. That company saying it's abandoning its first attempt at an mRNA COVID-19 vaccine. You can see the stock down about 5% this morning, but if you reverse back to June, you can see it really dropped precipitously. That's when we first saw the results on that vaccine from a 40,000-person trial. It's only about 48% effective. And so the company had been forging ahead with it, but this morning saying, okay, we're going to withdraw that application in Europe, focus on a second-generation attempt with GlaxoSmithKline, really starting to see this market start to evolve into who the winners, at least initially, are going to be. But the next generation could be different. Guys?